And what's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do a nice, I think useful test in order to, understand which string set is the best one, and if it's true that if you play 11 it will sound huge, and if you play like 9, 42, your sound will be kind of weak, because there's a lot of people that actually say that kind of stuff, and I want to find out if it's true or not, and it's gonna be exciting, guys. I mean, it's gonna be really interesting. This video is made in collaboration with daddario. I'm really thankful for that, provide me all these string set. We're gonna try 3 different string gauges, 942, 1046 and 1152. If you don't know what these strings are, these are the NYXL strings. These are the premium strings set made by daddario. They have this NY steel inside, like the core, so it's supposed to be more resistant to strings breaks, and it's more durable. It actually should sound better, like more present, like it would cut through the mix more compared to the more standard set. On the Strat, as well as the Gibson Les Paul 58 historic reissue that I have here. So, single coils and humbuckers. And the setup will not include the usual quad cortex, but I would play it through my Mesa Boogie Mark III green stripes with the torpedo capture as a reactive load and torpedo cab amp as an IR loader. The Dyne IR, to be fair, the ball green I used for this test, with SP compressor or the Soul Food as an overdrive. I will tell you about that later when you're gonna take a look at the various examples that I recorded, and some Strymon Flint as a reverb in few examples, just to give a little bit of a context. All right, so I use the real stuff in order to avoid that comment, that would pop up and say, digital stuff makes sounds all the same. We're using the real tube amp, okay? Just the IR, and I think it's more than fair as a setup, okay? It will be, I think, really accurate, I would say. So let's find out what, the actual files, okay, will tell us. Okay guys, so let's listen to the first example. This is the Strat, position 2, so neck and middle pickup, just the guitar and the amp, okay? $10.46. $11. Okay, the difference is kind of big, I would say, and for sure 11 sounds bigger, more bass, fuller type of tone. Let's hear back the 9. 11. Huge difference. For this application, my favorite tone is the 11. 52. You don't have to bend any strings or whatsoever, so that's a nice tone to have. It's a nice application, and maybe 1046, it's kind of a balanced type of tone, but that's your choice. The second example, we are gonna listen to an arpeggio with just a little bit of compression with the SP booster by Exotic. Position 4, so bridge and middle pickup together, okay? $10.46. $11.52. Sorry if you hear some noises here and there. Probably the Mesa, you know, it's kind of an old amp, so maybe it needs a little bit of, you know, service whatsoever, especially in the clean channel. It's almost 40 years old amp, so you know, you can forgive him, forgive it. Anyway, with the compressor, it's like the difference is a little bit less noticeable. I don't know why the 1046 example sounds a little bit less powerful than it should be. 9. But anyway, I think that, you know, with the compressor, things started to be a little bit more, you know, balanced, I would say, but let me know what you think about it. The third example, more kind of a bluesy type of riff, position 1, so neck pickup with the same clean channel of the Mesa Mark III, but with the soul food as an overdrive, all right? 942. $10.46. And 11s. Back straight to the 9th. $11, $9. There's not much of a difference anymore, I would say. I mean, it's really like less noticeable to my taste, even in the second part. Yeah, there's a little bit less mid bass frequencies in the 9 example, in the 942. The 11 are definitely bigger, but nothing that maybe you can't, you know, tweak with your EQ if you like to have more bass. But is that really like, you know, a need? I don't know about that, but definitely difference, you know, starting to be a little bit less noticeable, I think. For example, lead channel on the Mark III. Let's start with the 942. $10.46. And 11. Okay, here it's an interesting thing. I don't particularly like the 1152 tone in this scenario, because to me it sounds a little bit like less agile, I would say. It's not that bright, and I don't really like that tone, okay? My favorite one is between the 9 and the 10. Maybe the 1046s are, you know, the perfect balance between the two, but even the 942 set to me sounds great in this scenario. It depends if you want to have more bass or not, but you know, sometimes you have to cut, you know, that bass in a mix or whatsoever. So is that really necessary in that, you know, scenario? I don't know, but maybe you would like to feel more bass, you know, behind your back if you're playing, you know, with a loud amp and you like that. It's a thing, definitely. But 942 doesn't sound weak at all. To me, it's a perfect type of rock rhythm. Yeah, this one it's a little bit, you know, more like bigger, but still. 11 again. Maybe it's a matter of preferences, but they all sound good, but I don't really see the point in getting a 1152 set in this scenario, because it's just like, it's harder to play, more difficult, and you don't really get any benefit from it. Actually, it's the least favorite tone for me, to my taste, in that scenario. All right, the last example with the Strat. 1046. Sorry. And 1152. Nine. 11. 10. Well, I don't know. Here I played with the neck pickup, and I added a little bit of reverb with my Strymon Flint in stereo. Maybe the 1152 set, it's slightly bigger tone-wise than the other two, but you know, definitely felt harder to play. You know, I didn't play any band and stuff, but it's more difficult to play fast things or whatever, you know, with the 11 set. And the tone quality, it's pretty much the same, I would say, in this example. So I wouldn't pick one set or another just for, you know, tone. Okay, but let me know what you think about it. Okay, and let's move to the Les Paul clips. Okay, same sets. I made a mistake here. I wrote 1154, but it's 1152. Okay, so same NYXL that I used on the Strats example. Okay, so 942. This I played the reverse. So first we're gonna take a listen to the leads, and then we're gonna take a listen to more cleanish type of stuff. Okay, first example, neck pickup of my 58 Les Paul with soul food. Okay, and some reverb. So lead tone on the mark. So really type like a really singing lead type of tone. I was, you know, trying to imitate a little bit like Gary Moore stuff like that. Okay, so 942. $10.46. And 11.52. Okay, a little bit bigger tone on the 11.52 sets. Let's hear again the 9, 11. really similar, I would say, because again, I'm not a robot, so I can't make the exact same performance, all the time. And again, here, I don't think that, choosing a set just based on the tone, if you have to play this stuff, it's really important. It's more about the feeling that you want to have with the guitar. Okay. Second example, it's kind of a Guns N' Roses type of rhythm, without the soul food, bridge pickup, just the guitar and the amp. Okay, 1046. And 1152. Not that much of a difference with humbucker, I'd say. 9 again. 11. 10. There's a slight EQ variation, okay? I mean, we could also like analyze a thing, with the EQ and stuff, but we have to judge by our ears, I guess, because if we have to rely on some analysis like computer-based, it means that, we don't really need that, right? So it's just slightly different, but we can't really say, oh my god, 11 sounds so big and 942 are weak. I can't say that. I'm sorry. Let me know what you think about it. Then third example is kind of a bluesy type of lick, same sound as the second one. 1046. And 11. Nine again. 11. 10. Not that much of a difference. Let's hear this part. They really sound close, right? And I'm playing like kind of a bluesy type of stuff, and normally people would say, oh, you can't play this stuff with 942, because they're too weak. But Albert King was using really light strings, and I think everybody loves that guitar playing. So let me know what you think. Fourth example, with a clean tone of the Mesa Mark with bright engaged, middle position. I'm sorry, it's not super clean, but it's due to the Mark III structure. You can't really have super clean and heavy lead tones. It's kind of hard to I would like to make a video about that amp. It's kind of fascinating. Anyway, you will get an idea. 1046. 11. Again 9. I can't justify, the difference. It sounds pretty much the same to me. And again, maybe I'm not playing exactly right all the time, because with different, set of strings, it's just like, you can't play this exactly the same because the pick have more resistance and everything. So, you know, it's really hard to make a true, like, fair comparison, but tone-wise, I think, you know, they sound pretty much the same. And the last example, clean channel without the bright, neck pickup. 1046. Again, 9. Again, you can also see from the waveform that sometimes I played hard, you know, on one chord or another, because it's not really easy for me to be really that consistent, you know, when I'm playing this kind of stuff. But it seems like to listen to 3 different performances of the same guitar with the same string set. So again, with humbuckers, I think that the differences are less noticeable, but let's go back, you know, here to the final thoughts. Okay guys, so final consideration, final thoughts. I'm kind of surprised of what the test, you know, is telling us. Not so much with the Strat, because I knew already that, you know, with the Strat, maybe the 942 set would be, would be a little bit, you know, not really present, not really big, okay? So maybe if you have to play clean stuff without a lot of bands and stuff like that, maybe the 942 set is not the best choice. But if you're playing more distorted type of stuff, well, you know, maybe you can. Maybe you can, definitely can. So it's not just about the guitar, but it's really depending also on your music style. And feeling wise, it's huge, like the difference is huge. So the 1152 set, like this one, it's not super agile, I would say, okay? So the 1046 set, it's probably the more balanced one, and actually it's the set that I usually choose on a Strat like this one, because I want it to be versatile, you know, and sometimes I have to play clean stuff, blues stuff, sometimes more, you know, distorted type of stuff. So 1046 for me is my set of choice on a Strat. For a Les Paul, that kind of surprised me, because to be honest, the tone that I would get between these 3 different sets, I mean, it was pretty much the same, right? I don't know what you think, guys, about that, but I thought that this one would be like, oh my god, I can really tell the difference, and the 942 would be too weak, but it's not. So I think I would stick with the 1046 set also for the Les Paul, because feeling wise, the 942, it's maybe a little bit, you know, too soft, too slinky, I don't know, too, you know, I need a little bit of resistance when I play, just a tiny bit. And so I think that the 1046 is the best one feeling wise, because the 11 one, it's fine, but it's a little bit too hard for me, because with the Les Paul sometimes I would like to shred a little bit, you know. So 1046 for me is the perfect balance, because tone wise I couldn't tell, you know, that much. You know, with the Strat it was more present, but with this one I don't think so. So, but let me know what you think about it. To me it was kind of surprising, and I hope that you got some value out from this video. For me it was really an interesting test to make, and I'm really grateful and thankful to daddario that, you know, helped me out to make this video possible. And if you haven't tried the NYXL strings, do so, because I think they are really, really awesome strings. And if you tried these strings already, let me know in the comment section what you think about them. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. Please leave a like and subscribe if you want to help me out with the algorithm, you know, and also the new hype button that's supposed to be, you know, really the new thing. So I don't know, if you want to help me out, just press that. It's free for you. And, you know, again, thanks a lot and see you next time. Ciao.